The assessment checklist series is a group of psychiatric rating scales designed to measure a bunch of mental health problems that maltreated children experience that are otherwise fairly uncommon amongst children at large. I was a kind of reluctant psychologist. I'd trained in psychology, but I was always skeptical. Felt really as though I needed to do something else because this wasn't something that actually was going to be important enough to change people's lives or to help people. I was actually an oyster farmer, not making any money, and my wife was pregnant with our first child. We sat down and my wife said to me, you know, you're going to have to get a real job. And I think it was she that even found the advertisement for a job in a child welfare department. Got the job, started work, wasn't sure what it was going to be like, and almost immediately, for me, it was a life-changing, transformative experience because of the children. And I'd not anticipated that at all. And it had a very strong effect on me. I actually enjoyed going to work, and I even though I still felt like I was a bit of a fraud because of this psychology work, you know, what can it do for these children? It was really my skepticism as much that drove my kind of curiosity and kind of determination to try and find out what it was that we could do to help these children. I went back to university and trained as an epidemiologist with a view to carrying out population research and trying to actually kind of map out the nature of these problems. Still a psychologist working for the government, and started working with colleagues in the psychiatry department at Newcastle University on this study that led to the development of these measures. So the measures themselves were really developed as a means to an end, which was I needed to map out the nature of these children's problems, and I searched for measures and couldn't find them. My supervisor said, well, you know, you're doing your PhD part-time, why don't you develop the measures? So that's how it began, and very quickly realized that this was something that could be used well beyond my own research. Many of these children have complex mental health problems that are related to both their attachment development and also to trauma. So we can think about them as complex attachment and trauma-related difficulties. It's really about identifying and understanding the particular kinds of psychopathology that these very disadvantaged children have in order to be able to work out what is the best kind of psychotherapy, the best kind of therapeutic support that their caregivers can be given to give them a chance to recover whilst they're in care. One of the reasons that the work grabbed me is that for some people there's something about these children that just grabs you. Here is a child that was born into the world just like you or I. And this is what happens to children when bad stuff happens to them. And so there's a connection. When you think of that, you feel a connection. You don't feel it as though you want to push this child away, you want to help that child. I've just got an interest in a particular group of children that's really going to be my life's work.